G'day, Steve Gurney, Beginner's Guide to Adventure Sport book. This is a video for the trail running chapter. Now, we're interested in going quite fast in our trail running, especially if you want to win a race or do well in a race. The thing is, trail running by nature goes up and down and roundabout, and there's a lot of zigzagging and up and down, which uses more energy than if you compare it to road running or trail. So this video is about how to run smoothly and get the most for your energy. Okay, for smooth, fast, efficient running, there's three concepts I want to introduce here. First one is plan ahead, second one is look ahead, and the third one is consider your center of gravity and make it smooth. So for the first one, the plan ahead, as you'll see here, I'm going to run along here and I've got a choice here. I can go to the left of the big boulder or I can go to the right of the big boulder. I need to choose. Now when we're trail running, sometimes we don't have a lot of choice because we're sticking to the track, but there'll always be a bit of choice about where we're going to go within that trail. In this case here, when I'm talking about planning ahead, what I'm going to do is I don't want to waste time by stopping and looking and choosing and then continuing running, because that takes more energy to stop and start. What I want to do here is I want to take what I call a picture or a photograph as I'm running, or a snapshot is another way about thinking about it. So as I'm running, I just do my eyes quickly flick up. It's just like I'm taking a really quick picture, and then as I continue running, I process what I saw. A quick mental picture in my head as I'm running. So the first point we talked about was plan ahead. The second point is look ahead. So you'll find beginner trail runners are quite slow, mostly because they're looking at where their next foot plant will be. So if they're looking just that far ahead, that's too slow. Okay, what you need to be doing instead is looking about 2 to 5 meters ahead, and you'll find that's what fast trail runners do. And so what's happened here, there's a concept called spatial memory. So it's a bit like RAM, or random access memory on a computer. It's just temporary memory. And when we're looking 2 to 5 meters ahead, our mind temporarily remembers the next piece that's ahead of us whilst it's planning for the piece ahead. So the further ahead you look, the faster you'll go. The more you practice that, the faster you'll get. Okay, the third concept is conservation of energy and center of gravity. So trail running, as we discussed, is zigzaggy and up and down, and that's why we like it compared to road running. It's got a lot of variety. So I want you to cast your mind back to physics in your school days. Yes, it was worth listening to the teachers. There's this concept of conservation of energy, and as part of that there's this thing called potential energy. So if we took all my body mass and we thought about, you know, when I step up from a low spot up onto a high rock, that increases the potential energy, but it costs energy to do that. And so we don't want to end up doing too much of that up and down stuff. So I'm going to introduce this idea of center of gravity. So if I was to replace all of my body mass, my 75 kilograms of body weight, with this one rock, so it's a very dense rock, and I was to replace it, where would I put it? Where's the equivalent spot? It's about where my belly button is and inside my tummy. So if I was jumping up and down a lot over rocks, it'd be like lifting the rock up and down. And man, that takes a lot of energy to keep on doing that. So I want to run smoothly, so my center of gravity goes smoothly like that instead of up and down like that. So when I come to things like this log, or I've had to step over a gap like that, I want to try and keep my center of gravity smooth rather than going up and over it. So rather than stepping up and over like that, I want to time my look ahead, I want to plan ahead and time my stride so I can just step over it like that. Or if I do have to, let's say it's a big one, I have to step up on it, I just keep my knee bent so I walk across like that, instead of, rather than doing this sort of thing, because that takes more energy. There's another angle to take as well, and that's going side to side. Like if I have to run zigzagging around things, then that's going to take a lot more energy, because doing this is going to take a lot of energy as well. You should try this at home and see how tired you get. So if I'm looking ahead, well, let's say I'm running from where you are looking at the video, and I'm running and I'm going to have to go through that gap, but I haven't done my planning like we talked about in the previous one, where I take a photograph snapshot, and I'm running and think, oh, here's a rock here and I have to zigzag over here, and then I have to zigzag over here. That takes a lot more energy than if I did my photograph snapshot thing and I looked ahead and said, oh, I just have to run over here. So it's a lot easier to do and a lot smoother. So think about your pet rock and the energy, so you don't have to do all this sort of stuff. Okay, just to summarize those 3 points about smooth and efficient trail running. First of all, plan ahead by taking snapshots and then process as you're continuing running. Second point is to look ahead. If you're looking down at your feet, you'll be going really slow, so practice looking as far ahead as you comfortably can. 2 to 5 meters is what the experts do. And the third point is conservation of energy and center of gravity. So think about that pet rock. You want to be making it travel smooth as you run, smooth as possible on trail running. You don't want to be doing too much of this sort of stuff because that costs energy. Think of those three things and you'll be a fast trail runner before you know it.